All right. Hello. Um, so I know I said I was going to do more videos on my experiences with DBT therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy. Um, it's definitely intense, as I had mentioned in a couple of other videos. It's it's extremely intense. Much more intense than I had anticipated. Um, One particular reason, uh, from my own personal experiences, the only thing I can think of is it's extremely intense because my mind is so used to abuse that now that these lessons that they're bringing in, my mind is putting up a real nasty battle. And since I started, which was on November 23rd, my mind has just been putting up a real nasty battle. A real. It's almost like my mind refuses to believe anything positive can be can come of my life. And I don't know. I'm just. It's extremely scary. It's extremely scary. Actually, in fact, I had another couple of meltdowns at work. Um, yeah, and it's worse than before. To me, it feels like, and again, it's really scary. So, just the other day, Wednesday, in fact, when I got home from work, I immediately emailed my psychiatrist, and I told him, I said, look, I need to be on something while I'm taking these classes because my mind is putting up a real nasty battle. And it has been. It has been. And it's scary. It's absolutely terrifying. Um, you know, dialectical meaning two opposites joining together and existing as one. My brain is trying to fight that. So one of the most scariest emotions right now that I'm actually experiencing is the uh, intense anger and absolute rage. Just in fact, Wednesday when I got home from work, my 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 therapist, my psychiatrist kept declining the uh, my requests for when I was trying to see him, and I was trying to make it the soonest date. I was trying to actually make it today, Wednesday that day, and he kept declining it. And when I got home from work, I had a complete fit. It was a nasty episode. It was so. Thank God no one was home down here to see it. Um, it would have been embarrassing, as it was extremely embarrassing at work. So, um, yeah. So I remember I put all caps to message my psychiatrist. I said, I don't like the way I feel. I don't like the way I've been feeling. I need to see you ASAP. And finally, he approved for tomorrow, which is Saturday, to see me, and I'm hoping he can prescribe me something to kind of lessen the emotion of anger, because like I said, numerous times already, that my mind is putting up this grotesque battle. And I spoke with the DBT therapist, and they have told me, they said, I had asked them, I said, is this normal to have, for the mind to put up such a nasty fight when first entering these classes, and trying to be open-minded and learning these skills. And I forget, honestly, I forget what she said, which sucks and is sad. Yes. So I forget exactly what she said, but I'll ask her again and see, because to me, this is really, really scary. But again, I do say it looks promising. It's just that I've got to train my brain to accept and to these skills, to be receptive and actually try these skills in the wild, not staged, but in the wild. Right now, actually last night, we were learning how to identify an emotion. It's got to be that, I believe it's got to be that one dominant emotion. Identify with it, and then use a skill called opposite action, and change that emotion. And my urges to do something that is not supposed to be done, or that's socially unacceptable, are extremely powerful. And the therapist did tell me, she said, you're new to this, so relax. This is going to be, it's going to be a journey to learn all these skills. And she wasn't kidding. There's a lot of skills, but even just one skill, you're going to read through the chapter, or not the chapter, but the worksheet, and I sit there and look at it. Some of it I can relate to, and then some of it I'm going, what the fuck? What in the good God fuck? Some of the stuff I can't really seem to get into. Some stuff I can relate to, so it's easier for me to get into. But then still, there's that I don't know how to put it. There's that lack of mentality or motivation or energy or whatever it is that's preventing me. That's creating a mental barricade. So yeah, there went that. So I'm still learning. I'm still gonna go through with it. Honestly, I'm even predicting I'm gonna have to go through another enrollment, because each I guess period is for 4 months. As severe as my conditions are, it's probably gonna take me 8 months. It's probably going to take me even more than 8 months, because a lot of these skills, when you think about it, when you're a child, you actually learn these skills over the course, through your childhood, through your teenhood, your pre-adulthood, and even a little bit as you're in your adulthood. Okay, you're taking decades worth of information decades worth of practice and pushing it all into one period of 4 months, maybe 8 months. It's extremely difficult, you know, the information overload that these classes throw at you. Not that I'm not, when I say throw at you, I'm not being facetious. It's just the nature of the beast, I guess you can call it. But it's extremely difficult. You're not learning it in a normal, how you should have learned it when you were a child and progressing through your life. There's so many fucking little aspects and even sub-emotions. There you have your primary emotions, and then you have your sub-emotions, which I just learned, you know, last week. You have, you know, like a color wheel, painters, artists, you know what I'm talking about when I say, you know, you have your 4 primary colors, and then when you combine certain colors, they create other sub colors, you know, the color wheel. Same thing with emotions. You have your primary emotions, and then you have magnitude of other sub emotions, and they all piggyback off of each other, it seems like, according to this, the way I interpreted this one wheel that was shown to me in a graph, you know. And I just remember looking at this wheel. First of all, I don't have my glasses on. Unfortunately, during the episode that I was having when I got home from work Wednesday, as I was taking off my mask, it pulled the glasses, and the glasses pinched me, and I blew up. I turned into the fucking Incredible Hulk, and I grabbed the rest of my glasses and just snapped them in half and threw them. So I'm actually, I'm looking at this, and it's all blurry. I can't really make up detail. So, but yeah, right now, I'm scared. I'm hopeful. It's interesting because before, back in 2007, I was able to reinvent myself, or even reinvent myself when I was in high school. And I noticed I would do that several times. And now all of a sudden, it's like when I try, the idea of reinventing myself, it sounds fun, you know, it sounds creative, and I'm a very creative person. I love creating things. I have to be creating. I'm a Pisces. And now all of a sudden it's like the idea pops in my mind, and it's saying, hey, reinvent yourself. That's a great idea. That's awesome. Stop caring what other people think, and do you. And then all of a sudden, when I get thrown into the wild, you know, as life pushes you out, and, you know, you step outside your front door, all that just tanks. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, what happened to the idea of reinventing myself and showing myself off, the new me, off to people? And I guess it's, you know, not as easy as it used to be, you know, when I was younger. You know, even the therapist had mentioned to me, she mentioned, you know, times have changed, you know, environmental factors, you know, mental factors, interpersonal connection factors, all kinds of shit. Even things you don't even think about play into all this psychology. So I'm still learning new terminology. It's really terrifying. It's scary, but also it's interesting. It's intriguing. So yeah. I'm kind of nervous because I'm wondering if I even have a job when I come back to work. I actually even took, I used the last of my vacation days next week to kind of just back off of things and hopefully use this time constructively to create more YouTube videos, you know, create more hats. I actually just bought two more hats off of an app called Mercari. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a really damn good app, by the way. But I bought two fedoras on there that I can actually start, you know, modifying and playing around with and get my creative juices going. So I don't know. I was even thinking earlier this morning too that, you know, I was more into my spirituality and creative side back in, what was it, 2005, 6, 7. And I lost myself. You know, and I'm still trying to find myself. I'm still trying to rebuild myself. I'm still trying to learn these new DBT skills that I can use within myself and apply it to real life situations, you know, real life stressful situations. You know, not constantly being in pain, you know, every morning when I wake up to go to work, or even on weekend mornings when I don't have to go to work, I wake up and the anxiety, the severe mental pain is right there. And for a lot of people out there who don't understand mental pain, it's not like, you know, let's say you cut your finger, you were cutting up food or something and you cut your finger on accident, and that shit fucking hurts. I say, having done that before, mental pain, emotional pain is far more detrimental, far more severe than cutting your finger on the cutting board, you know, on the knife of a cutting, you know, you're cutting food or whatever. It's far more severe, and it's not something you can just put a band-aid on and then, you know, let the body do its natural healing process. The mind is, you know, the emotions, personality wise, take on a whole nother different type of healing that you can't just simply throw a band-aid on and fucking, you know, take some antibiotics or whatever to prevent infection, or you know, take some Neosporin, or, you know, Johnson & Johnson's first aid cream. You know, it's not that fucking simple. And there are people that I am subjected to sometimes who don't understand that. And it's a whole nother healing process, a much far more complex process of healing. And depending on how, you know, your situation and what you've been through, it's going to take longer. To give you a visual metaphor, since my childhood trauma has been left unattended for decades, 2 decades, there's a tremendous amount of fucking infection there. You know, you cut your finger, or, you know, you cut your finger on something, you know, a rusty metal or something, you don't get it treated, infection's going to set in, and it's going to be painful to the point where if you don't take immediate action right away and get a tetanus shot, or, you know, in my case, therapy at an early age, really bad shit can start happening to your finger, your body, whatever, to the point where if gangrene sets in, to give you a visual metaphor, now you're talking you're going to have to get your finger amputated. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way with the brain, with the mind. But to give you a visual metaphor of the infection part, that infection expands into other mental disabilities, other mental conditions, where the way I interpret it, I hope I interpreted it right with my therapist, my psychologist. He told me, he said, "You've suffered from complex PTSD. Since it was left untreated, it transitioned to borderline personality disorder, which is even bigger. It's now an even bigger problem. And now you're talking years and years of therapy, I'm predicting anyways for myself. That's what happens when you don't treat a physical cut, or that's what happens when you don't treat mental illness at an early stage when you're young and you know, and fuck, my parents at the time, they, you know, I remember they would always tell me, you know, oh, mental therapy is for the rich. You know, only rich people can afford that. You know, school, they would even bring up school. School, you know, you want to go back to school, you have to be rich. My point is, when things are left untreated, especially when it comes to mentality and emotions, you're running into far more deeper shit than you cutting your finger. You know, I think there's, correct me if I'm wrong, there's probably even now medication out there or a shot or something where you can, you know, get injected in you and it'll, you know, gangrene or whatever, tetanus shot, whatever, you know, it will treat all that. Again, mental illness, it doesn't work that way. There's no fucking shot or a pill you can take that will sit there and be like, okay, you're cured. You have no more borderline personality disorder. You have no more complex PTSD, John. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And a lot of people need to hear this. A lot of people, it needs to be in the mainstream more. Because mental illness is a real fucking thing. It's not people just waking up and going, hey, I want to be an asshole today. Or, hey, I want to be difficult today. No, it's not like that. At least in my personal experiences, it's not like that. There are a lot of triggers, you know, and you ask anybody with PTSD, complex PTSD, where every fucking day of their life, every fucking moment of their life, just about, their walls are up, they're on guard. And think of it as a field with landmines. And you don't know where the hell they are. You yourself don't even know where the hell they are. And then somebody happens to step on one and you go off and explode. You know, it's a constant battle internally with the individual, with myself. And, you know, friends, relatives, acquaintances, co-workers, they all sit there and look at you. They tiptoe around you. They're afraid to interact with you. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to handle you. They don't know. It's a fucking field of landmines that people, even myself, are walking around on. To paint another visual metaphor for you. But it's real. You may not be able to physically see it. It may not be a cut on your hand or, a bruise on your shoulder. But it's real. It's fucking real. And of course, with this goddamn pandemic and everything, it's exasperating the fuck out of everything. And it's extremely terrible. All my emotions have heightened since the pandemic. All my, since I've taken these classes, my mind just put up a nasty battle, as I said numerous times already. That has heightened everything. So for the time being, so I don't lose my job. So I don't end up in jail. So I don't end up in the hospital. Or worse, end up overdosing on pills or committing suicide or something. I want to get something in me and regulated to the point where I can actually comprehend, because even right now I can't even focus. I can't focus. My mind is in a constant state of fear. Who's saying this? Who's doing that? Who's spreading rumors around about me? Who's saying untrue shit? Who's gonna ruin my life? Who's attempting to ruin my life? Who's, at least with my personal experiences, everybody has their own different experiences, but it's not fun. It's not fun. It's fucking terrifying, to the point where, personally for me, I don't know anybody else out there, but personally for me, every fucking morning when I wake up out of bed to either go to work or even just on the weekends, I feel like dying. I feel like, fuck it. What's the purpose? And I know that's wrong. At least a little bit of rationality in my mind is saying, hey, that's wrong. You need further help. Get help. And that's what I'm trying to do. So it's, like I said, it's a journey. It's going to be a long journey, I feel. I wish I could say, hopefully I'm wrong, but I really think it's going to be a long journey. It's going to be a financial burden, time burden, but also at the same time, on the same coin, I'm hoping it's going to be well worth the time and the money, because this is something I need, and this is something that can't go on any further. Otherwise, some real serious shit is going to hit the fan, and it's going to be all over but the crying. So I'm really trying my hardest to hold on to what little bit of faith I have, to what little hope I have. I know I'm chasing away new people, new friends, new colleagues, coworkers, whatever. People are looking at me, and they're getting annoyed with me. They're getting, I see the body language. I rely mostly on body language because a lot of people have lied to me in the past, have gaslighted me as a child. That's one of the things that's really fucking up my childhood or my adulthood, is because anything you say to me, it will register as a lie. And until I see hardcore evidence, tangible evidence that you are telling the truth, you're that. And I'm trying to remedy that. because I know I'm not going to have good relationships. And I want good relationships. I want high, quality friendships, relationships. But right now, unfortunately, it's just extremely difficult. And I really, truly appreciate and thank the people who are there for me, who are trying not to give up on me, but they're kind of sitting on the sidelines, like nervous, and that, I'm thinking that they're there for me when shit gets real serious. But it's difficult. It's extremely difficult because that's one of the symptoms of borderline personality disorder, and even PTSD, complex PTSD, is we have difficulty maintaining friendships, relationships, any kind of relationship. And it's extremely difficult. So yeah, I'll follow more up with everything with the DBT therapy. I'll even probably get into more of the the lessons, particularly how I relate to them and how I, what my mind thinks when I'm presented with a lesson or something. So, I just felt the need to get this off my chest because again, for those who are watching, it needs to be heard, and it needs to be known that this is a real thing. It's not me just being difficult. It's not just me waking up and saying, hey, I want to go to work and be an asshole. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. The case is, unfortunately, this is the way my brain has been wired because of other motherfuckers, other assholes in my past who felt it was funny and felt it was necessary to fuck up somebody's childhood, teenhood, pre-adulthood, even now into well-adulthood. And this is me trying to make the best of it. I'm trying to hold on to what little bit of friends I have. Yeah. So, I know I just posted 2 smaller videos earlier this morning. This video I know is actually 33 minutes and counting long, but hey, whatever. I have a lot on my chest. I have a lot on my mind. It's dire to get out. But yeah. Yeah, and also another thing that I want to start doing, as I mentioned, earlier, a long time ago before, is that I want to actually start doing more musical influences, which I believe I will very shortly here. So, yeah. Again, I feel the need that this needs to be thrown in the mainstream. This is something that, I believe your typical straight male, or even, let's remove the labels, any male has to know that mental illness is real, and it's difficult for your typical guy to talk about their emotions because of the way society has trained everybody just about to basically say that you're a guy, you're not allowed to talk about your emotions, especially when it's with another guy. Maybe your wife or your girlfriend, maybe your mother, but when you're not, that's all bullshit to me. If there's something inside that's creating a lot of detriment, if there's something inside and it's creating a lot of fucking turmoil, if there's something inside that's tearing you apart and it's making you go fucking crazy and it's hindering your ability to even focus at work, you know, any and every aspect of your life, you need to talk about it. You need to get that shit out. Because what's inside festers and it becomes infectious, as I was talking about earlier. And then later on down the road, now you've got even more problems. But it's extremely difficult, you know. I'm a guy. I'm told I'm not supposed to talk about my emotions. Guys don't like talking about their emotions. I say that's fucking bullshit. You're a goddamn human being. You're a fucking human being. I'm a fucking human being, okay? And there are necessities that you have to do to purge yourself and to feel cleaner emotionally and mentally when it comes to mental health, emotional health. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're a guy, a girl, gay, lesbian, black, white, any race, whatever. It's not good to hold shit in. It's not good to hold shit in. And that's where the beginning of the problem begins. That's where you end up creating other problems. And then now this new mentality that you've just developed of, oh, I can't talk about my emotions. I'm a dude. I'm not allowed to talk about my emotions. And now you're telling other people, other guys, that they're not supposed to talk about their emotions, even though internally it's telling them, hey, talk about it. Get it out. It's not healthy. Heart disease. Mental illness. It also has a physical effect on the body as well. The mental strains. So if you're feeling extremely hurt or bothered or angered or whatever, again, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. It doesn't matter where you live on this fucking planet. You're a human being. It's natural and it's native to purge and let out and vent and get the disgusting shit out. Take advice. Take suggestions from friends, loved ones. If you feel that's not enough, you go to a therapist. You talk furthermore with that. And then they start narrowing it down to what you're suffering from or what you're experiencing. And then they can make even further, more professional recommendations. But it's not healthy to hold grotesque emotions in. That's extremely dangerous. And especially in the world we live in today, where all emotions are heightened, and you see it every fucking day on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's not healthy to hold shit in. It's extremely bad. So, I'm sorry, I'm going on a little rant here, but it's just something that like I said, everybody needs to hear this. This needs to be thrown into the mainstream. It needs to be thrown in full rotation, heavy rotation, because this is something that is serious. And again, it's not people just wanting to be difficult. I mean, hell, who knows? Maybe it would be easier if that was the case. It would be a hell of a lot easier to snap out of it. Probably. I don't know. I'm guessing. But it's extremely difficult, and you can begin by purging your emotions, getting all that nasty shit out. Say, hey, bro, I'm pissed you did this to me, or I feel this way. You hurt my feelings, or, you blah, 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 whatever. Get it off your chest in a constructive manner. In a constructive manner, in a healthy manner, where then the two individuals, or whoever, talk, and there's the ebb and flow. Again, it's extremely detrimental to hold negative emotions in. Not everything is always going to be sunshine and flowers and fucking rainbows, okay? I get that. This is life, especially the life we're in now, the world we live in now. Things have gotten a little bit more difficult. Some aspects of life have gotten easier, but other aspects of life has kind of gotten a little bit harder, at least in my personal experience. And people just need to vent. People just need, especially guys who have been trained their whole life to believe that they're not allowed to discuss their emotions, especially with another dude. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. So, get it out. Get it out. And that's what I'm doing right now. Sometimes it's not enough. I get it. It's not enough. That's why I have to see a psychiatrist. I have to see a psychologist. I have to attend these DBT therapy classes 4 times a week with a tremendous amount of information and homework plopped down in my lap. It's okay. It's okay to talk about your emotions. And if another guy comes up to you and says, hey, you're a faggot, you're gay for talking about your emotions, fuck you. Fuck him, fuck them. Who cares? Maybe that guy needs help, or I don't know. But yeah, I'm speaking passionately. I don't even know if whatever I said made sense. It made sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else. So yeah, this video is going on 43 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap up here and upload it. I love you all who continue to support me. I know things are a little weary right now, a little scary, whatever, uncertain, but I truly do thank you guys. So stay cool, stay humble, be humble to each other and all that. So definitely thank you guys, and happy holidays. So